Go Play episode where we will be playing Castlevania. With you is Broken, and I have a guest with me today. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Sol.
Sol is a close friend of mine, and well, he's a close friend. We are going to talk about Castlevania Harmony of Despair, and we're gonna explain how the game is gonna go, because unlike the other Castlevanias, it's different. It's mainly focused on how
It's made as an online game.
yeah, it's an online game. It's a multiplayer game. So, they made a Castlevania where you could actually enjoy it with some friends. You can play it online most of the time. System Link, I'm not sure if that's available or not, but if it is, then also you can also play that. So out of the Castlevania characters that you see right here, which character is your favorite?
Shanoa.
Okay, Shanoa. Why do you like Shanoa?
Because she's a melee type and a magic user.
So basically, she's like a spell knight.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, he likes Shanoa, and I mainly go for Yoko because, well, I'm not into, like, the whole simple magic stuff in the game, because I actually, whenever I play a game, I would like more spells in the game. I would like more complex spells, but Yoko is actually different from, like, alright, she might have simple spells and she might be very powerful, which would make her a glass cannon, I believe. But aside from, like, if I play as Charlotte, I could easily learn a lot more spells than Yoko, but there's a difference because Yoko, she's actually a unique character. What do you think?
Yeah, but Charlotte can absorb other type of magics.
True. As Charlotte, you can get more magic, but if you play as Yoko, you will have the fixed magic. You cannot change.
But they are strong ones.
They are strong ones, but of course we cannot say she's the strongest one because, as we know, you can level up all the characters separately.
Yeah. But
So
the problem, there's no level up in this game.
True, there is no level up, and I know if you're listening to this and you're a Castlevania fan, then you're gonna be thinking like, why doesn't it have any level ups or anything? Why do you think they didn't put the level up system?
Because when you play the multiplayer fighting game, fighting mode, to be unfair to the low class.
Alright, for example, what if in the normal story, or the normal, as you can see, cooperative gameplay,
Yeah.
what if they put level up in the cooperative gameplay, but whenever you fight against someone, they remove it? So everybody becomes equal.
That would be fair.
It would be fair. But
Yeah.
what I think is, the reason they didn't put the level up in the game is the fact that
To make
sometimes,
it harder?
not to make it harder, because sometimes when you want to play with people, even now without the leveling up system, it's kind of hard sometimes to find characters that are equal or, well, equivalent to your skill. For example, you just started the game and you're like, alright, let me try online. Let's see how it goes. For first time Castlevania online gaming,
That's very new.
it's new, exactly. But it might be new for you, especially if you just bought the game. The game came out like back in 2010.
Yeah.
So people playing from 2010, if you're gonna join someone in the first chapter and you play with people who've been playing since 2010, it would be unfair because they would be max level
Yeah.
and you would be only level 1 or level 2, 5 maximum because you just started. Alright?
Yeah.
So that means they would be a lot higher than you. So that would make the game boring for you because you cannot do anything. They would be faster. They would have stronger attacks. They could kill the boss easily. So I think that's the main reason why they didn't include leveling up in this game.
Yeah, you have a point.
So getting stronger in this game mainly focuses on getting different equipments and like trying to get the best equipments for each character, because if you haven't played this Castlevania yet, I would tell you this, that the only two characters in the game that you can actually change weapons, or who can use different weapons, are Alucard and Soma.
Yeah.
But there is another character she cannot exactly change weapons. It's more like changing a glyph or a magic,
Yeah.
which is Shinoa.
Shinoa.
All right, tell us more about Shinoa in this game.
What do you know? What do you want to know?
Well, let's see. All right, aside from the glyph that you start with,
Yeah.
how many, or not how many, but what glyphs are there? Like the normal one is like a basic sword attack
Yeah.
kind of glyph, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so we're not gonna ruin it to the audience. So tell us just one more glyph. What other glyph is there?
There is Notisco that you get from Beam Skeleton, which is Nova Skeleton.
So at some games when you play some Castlevanias,
yeah.
it's the same enemy but with a different name.
Yeah.
All right. So some of you might know the Nova Skeleton as a Nova Skeleton. Some of you might know him as
Beam Skeleton.
Beam Skeleton. So it all depends on which Castlevania you played, and if you played them all, you probably know the different names for each enemy. All right. What do you find? What does this game have in common with the other Castlevanias? I know one thing for a fact is the fact that you can still destroy walls and find random food inside them.
Yeah. The RPG elements like fighting weapons or something.
Finding weapons. All right. So okay, let's set this as an example. Soma.
Yeah.
We've played the one for the Game Boy,
Yeah.
Aria of Sorrow or Area of
Yeah.
Sorrow, whichever
Area of
comes
Sorrow.
first, and the one for the DS, which is Dawn of Sorrow. In both, we know that in both games you can absorb or get souls
Yeah.
to get different abilities for Soma.
Yeah.
The same thing is available in this game, but the fact is that in this game you don't find as many souls as you would think, because like in most levels you would find the same enemies over and over again, but they of course change some enemies
From level to level.
from level to level. The game also has a few DLC levels, but to be honest, I don't think like how do I say this? I think 6 levels are more than enough if you're planning on like getting items and stuff, and if you're not planning on playing the game for long, just like you want to finish it a couple of times and then just want to try it with friends or something, then the 6 chapters or the chapters that the game has to offer it's enough. What do you think?
Yeah, they are enough. They're big anyway.
Yeah, they're pretty big. As you can see, this is the whole map, and I know you probably like you saw me for a second there. If I bet you that if it wasn't for the HP bar, I wouldn't know where I was. But yeah, as you can see, the map is pretty big, and the boss is right there marked as a target. As you can see, it has a lot of enemies all around the map. Depending on the character, like some of the characters you can acquire skills by killing a certain enemy. For example, who do we set as an example?
You can count Beam Skeleton for Shinoa.
Yeah,
Or Malachi.
Beam Skeleton. The Beam Skeleton, you can acquire
Notisco.
the ability for the Shinoa by absorbing the glyph, or you can get it for Charlotte by absorbing using the shield, the magic shield, which basically absorbs the spell and turns it into one of your own spells. But there's a catch to it. There's a percentage of getting that, so it's not like
It's
don't
a
be
random chance.
exactly. It's a chance. It's a percentage. For example, oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention about the game is the communication system. If you don't have a mic and you would like to communicate with other players online, you can use the communication system, whether it was got it, hello, thanks, oops, sorry, depends on the situation. So, about this boss, so explain, what is this boss exactly?
This boss appears in Dawn of Sorrow, his name is Gorgoth. He's pretty slow, as you can see.
Yeah, he is pretty slow, but also keep in mind that I've already played as Yoko, so don't think that you would get the spells as powerful as these from the beginning, because you need to level them up, and I think my Holy Lightning spell is like level 7 now. So I think it's 7. I'm not quite sure, but yeah. Anyways, you can level up the spells depending on each character, because some of the characters, in order to level up the skill, you need to get the skill over and over again. But for Yoko, since you can't get the same spell because you already started with these spells, all you have to do is just use the same spell over and over again. And as you can see, I already, well, the boss is kind of hard, but if you compare him to my character right now, or Soul's character, Shinoa, he'd be easy. But of course, that's only because we're playing normal. If you play hard, then it's harder, and you also get better items, and you have a chance of getting rare drops from bosses, I guess.
Because the chest spawn at a random percentage of weapons.
Yes, and there's also one thing that I forgot to mention about the game. As you noticed, or if you did notice, that at some areas of the level, you have different chests, and each chest represents a different color. So I'm not quite sure how the color order goes, but one of the colors has the highest rating in items. Like if you open that chest, then you get like a good item, and if you open
I think that's the green one, right?
I'm not sure. Whichever you find the least, then I guess that's the one. Like if you find only one purple chest per stage, then I guess that's the one. But I think the blue is the lowest level, because when you play multiplayer, you can also get the Water of Life out of it, and Water of Life is used for reviving your allies.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much how Castlevania Harmony of Despair goes, and it's mainly made for a fun multiplayer game where fans of Castlevania can experience the, should we call it adventure? The slaying?
Yeah, you slay monsters.
Yeah, you slay monsters and Dracula, I guess.
I just want to ask about the title, Harmony of Despair. They took that from Harmony of Dishonest, right?
I am not quite sure. Is it? Did they?
Because in the Game Boy Advance, there was the Castlevania title, which is called Harmony of Dishonest.
But are you sure they're related? Because
they're not related.
Then
but the name is.
Yeah, the name is, but yeah, just because it's a harmony of doesn't mean it's the same title.
They could just use another title.
What do you want to call it? Castlevania Online? That would be too MMORPG like.
No. I mean another title, like they have a lot of titles, like Curse of Darkness and a lot of things.
Well, true, but well, we can't say we can't exactly.
We can't oppose the company.
It's not about opposing. It's just that we can't exactly complain. We should be thankful we actually got Castlevania on the Xbox and a multiplayer as well.
The only multiplayer was Judgment, right?
Yeah, and that was also a fighting game. So it was a fighting game, so it wasn't exactly a multiplayer game. Well, unless you consider fighting as a multiplayer game. I just find it like a game where it's a game. Fighting games for me are like a game that you play to get an excuse to attack a friend. Like
it's competitive, right?
It is competitive. Some people like competitiveness, but some people take the competitiveness too seriously.
Yeah, that type.
So it's I don't know. This is pretty much about Castlevania, and I also forgot to mention one thing. The difference between the Castlevania on the Xbox and on the PS3, the Xbox version came out first, and then it got ported to the PS3. But if you buy the game on the PS3, you get, I believe, you get all the level DLCs for the same price.
That only goes with the Plus, no?
I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
Does it?
I think so.
Well, you can check it out whether you are a plus or not. If you're not, then you might get a plus for this game if you're a fan of Castlevania. If not, if you have plus but you don't like Castlevania, you could probably give it a try if it's free or if you have to pay for it. It's a game worth playing, especially if you're gonna play it with friends.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much it. Hopefully next time we're gonna come with another game, a multiplayer game or even a single player game, but hopefully Soul will join us in another episode of Go Play. are interested.
Hopefully.
Alright, hopefully. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions about Castlevania Harmony of Despair, you can post, or you can ask us, and we can answer, I guess. We can reply.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you and enjoy. Hope you had fun as much as we did recording this video.